Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and welcome to my latest Decksperiment, where I try to create cool decks from crazy ideas, and then experiment with them on the ladder, as the name might suggest. So today's Decksperiment idea actually comes from a suggestion I received on Reddit from a Reddit user named Unaros. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. But his suggestion was to create a hunter deck that included Yogg-Saron and then Malygos, specifically with 3 cards to utilize on your Malygos being Arcane Shot, On the Hunt, and Quick Shot. Now that is a pretty cool suggestion, right? Because those are all 3 very cheap spells that you can hopefully combo out with Malygos for essentially a big burst finisher at the end of the game. But he's also tossed in Yogg-Saron into the idea just for some crazy fun spell synergy as well, because presumably this deck will require a pretty big control mindset in order to live until your Malygos turn and draw enough cards to make that work. So we have to find some spells and ways to utilize them just to get to Malygos, and hopefully Yogg-Saron will benefit from that as well. So we're going to call this the Malyogg Hunter. And let's create a Decksperiment here. Let's just go ahead and start off with the cards we know for sure we're going to have. That's Yogg-Saron, and that's Malygos. Those were part of the deal. So that's our first 2 pieces. We also know that we want On the Hunt. Let's put that filter off. 2 On the Hunt, so we also want some Quick Shots. Except it needs to be a singular word, Quick Shot. And finally, the Arcane Shot as well. Now, I will say that not necessarily every Malygos deck ever has 6 ways to use, 6 spells to use with Malygos, essentially, because that thins out your deck quite a bit. In other words, you might only need 2 or 3 to get the kill, so having 6 can sort of be overkill. So we might have to think of ways to creatively use some of these cards throughout the early portion of the game, and with On the Hunt and Quick Shot, that really shouldn't be too hard. Arcane Shot does work so nicely with Yogg-Saron that we might just save it. It's not that high value otherwise. So, all that said, we need to think about filling in the other 22 cards on this deck list. So we need ways to survive, in other words, ways to control the board so that we don't die so early that we never get to Malygos. We probably need some more spells to use with Yogg-Saron in case we don't draw our Mally. And we do also need a fair amount of card draw as well. Now, one card that comes to mind that you often kind of put in Yogg-Saron decks is Lock and Load for Hunter. Each time you cast a spell this turn, add a random Hunter card to your hand. I think that's really too good for us to pass up. I don't want this to turn into specifically necessarily just a Yogg and Load style deck, which is a moderately popular, mildly competitive style of Hunter. We'll certainly have some components there because this just fits too well to not utilize. But it's not just going to be a Yogg and Load deck, right? Because we do have the Malygos and some synergies there. So one card I think that works really nicely with Malygos decks is Emperor Thaurissan. He cheapens all your spells, which means, for instance, if you get Malygos and a On the Hunt and Quick Shot all together, or maybe even a couple Quick Shots, you can cast 3 or 4 spells the same turn you play Malygos. One problem with Malygos is if you play him out there on turn 9, there's a very good chance your opponent just deals with him, and you never get the mana or time to cast your big burst damage. So if you can figure out ways to get him out the same time you cast multiple spells instead of just, one Arcane Shot that does 7 damage, that's not necessarily a very good play. But suddenly if you have 2 Quick Shots and an Arcane Shot all for 10 mana, thanks to an 8 mana Malygos and 1 mana Quick Shots, you're talking about 16 plus 7 damage for 23 damage in a single turn. So works a lot better in that sense. So Emperor Thaurissan sets up a lot of big plays in that regard. So that's a good core there. We've got a lot of good pieces, but now we need to fill in the middle parts. So we're looking for spells, we're looking for board control. I think we really like Freezing Trap, Just gets a good high value spell, high tempo. It's good early, it's good late. I do think we also want an explosive trap because there's a lot of aggro decks out there. Unfortunately, Shaman, most stuff has 3 health, so explosive trap's not the best card in the world, but it is good against Zoo. So having 1 instead of 2 feels right to me at this point. I think including a King Zealot makes some sense. In fact, maybe even 2 King Zealots because they are likely to draw, you know, not just 1 actually. They're likely to get these 3 big minions right now. And that means they're very likely to win the joust and draw us into the pieces that we need to win the game. But that said, we're actually going to go back to 2. Originally, I thought just 1 because if you have 2, then that means you have a chance of getting the other King Zealot in the joust, which reduces your likelihood to win and get the stuff you care about. But we're not necessarily trying to make that happen instantly, right? We want it to generate cards. If it takes a couple King Zealots to do so, we're fine with that. We're still playing some minions on the board, so it still works out in the end. We definitely want Animal Companion because it's a spell and a minion and a really good card all bundled into 1. I think we'll take at least 1 deadly shot for additional removal on top of Freezing Trap. It's sort of the hard removal, and this is the tempo. Kill Command is good, but it doesn't really fit the Malygos pattern, right? If you got Kill Command and Malygos both reduced from Thaurissan, it'd be nice, but it'd only be 10 damage. It's not like the craziest thing ever. So I think we're actually going to pass on Kill Command and focus a little bit more on managing the board as opposed to just doing damage. I kind of think flares are good. It might sound a little crazy. You don't often see flare, but there's a fair amount of hunters on the ladder, and you never know when there's going to be that random mage as well with some key secrets. So the secret removal portion of this is nice. The stealth removal portion is also very good against Rogue, but it's just card draw, and we do need to draw cards if we want to get our Malygos and our Yogg-Saron in hand. So let's try the flares and see how that works. I think we want just 1 Unleash the Hounds. We're kind of getting full on cards already. It's a good spell, good removal essentially. Can do some different things. I think an explosive shot actually works pretty well. It's stupidly good with Malygos if that ever worked, but that's not really the goal. The goal is just removal. A lot of stuff has 5 health, a lot of stuff has 2 health, and you can line that up nicely. Explosive shot becomes a very powerful removal spell. We absolutely want to Call of the Wilds. It's possibly the best card in the entire Old Gods expansion, and it's a spell. And it's late game board pressure and damage, which sets up Malygos. Because remember, we don't really have a great way to do 30 damage necessarily with Malygos. So chipping our opponent down a little bit can be important. So that's a lot of spells, right? We have basically 4 minions. We have 6 minions in the deck right now. No. 5 minions in the deck. The rest is spells. That's not bad, but I don't think it hurt us to put in some other kind of accessory minions, particularly those which might draw cards or kind of serve as tech removal options. So remember, we don't have early game board, so we're not looking for stuff like Abusive Sergeants or things that leverage our board. We're looking for things that draw cards. We're looking for things that might give us some board control. I'm actually considering Cold Light Oracle. We definitely want to move through cards. We don't necessarily love giving our opponents cards, but we think we value our cards more than our opponents will get value out of their cards. So I'm going to toss these in for right now and just see what we think. We might find better ways to do this, but that's not actually the worst start ever. As far as other card draw cards, we can look here and see what draws us a card, right? We've got Blood Mage Thalnos. That makes a lot of sense. Loot Hoarders make a lot of sense. Hunter set. Starving Buzzard's not going to work for us. Tracking's not bad necessarily, but I don't know that I love it because we could actually like play to Fatigue sometimes. Gnomish Inventor, Cult Master. Cult Master's good with Unleash the Hounds, but we only have 1, and it's kind of unreliable, right? I wouldn't mind just some early game cards that do cool stuff. As well as, so for instance, Loot Hoarder actually contests the board a little bit and draws us a card. It does make our King's Alec a little worse, I guess, but again, we don't have to have King's Alec hit every time. As long as it's getting us something to work with occasionally, I think that's fine. It just helps us get to Malygos a little closer and play what is generally a good minion on turn 2. Is Jeweled Scarab any good? I'm just thinking about Hunter 3-drops here. Hunter has some good 3-drops. Jeweled Scarab might not be a bad idea. But it doesn't get us anything that works with Malygos, right? So it doesn't actually help contribute there. Blood Mage Thalnos is pretty cool because we do have so many different ways to benefit from spell damage, and it draws us a card. So I'm kind of thinking Blood Mage Thalnos makes a lot of sense as well. So I'm looking at that curve, and that is disturbing. A lot of 2-mana spells and minions. Nothing in the mid-game. You certainly need to consider your curve when you're designing a deck. I mean, clearly this is a Decksperiment. We don't know what's good or bad. We have a lot of cycle. So if you have a low curve, it's important to either do two things, right? You have to win the game very fast or you're going to run out of cards. Or you have to have lots of card draw to make sure that you can continue to refill your hand. If you have a low curve and you don't do one of those two things, your deck is poorly designed. So right now, we have a very low curve, but we do have a lot of card draw. So hopefully it's not that big of an issue. But I will say that our early game cards are not super responsive to the board or reactive. They don't necessarily keep us ahead. And some of them we have to save. Like, we're going to be saving on the hunt and Arcane Shot and probably Quick Shot as much as possible to utilize with our Malygos. So, I don't know, maybe we shift a couple 2-drops into the 3 or 4 slot range. So, like, maybe we drop a Flare, maybe we drop a Freezing Trap, and we consider some 3 or 4 drops that could replace those. Acolyte of Pain, of course, is card draw, but we don't have a way to activate it or buff it or do anything cool with it, so I don't really think that's the right angle. Hunter 3 and 4 drops. An Eaglehorn Bow is probably okay. A Deadly Shot wouldn't hurt. Houndmaster's a good card, but we don't really have ways to do much with it because we just don't have a lot of beasts, so I think we got to pass there. We'd probably rather have some sort of value spell or card draw. The Cold Light Oracle could be passed on as well, but I kind of like the idea of the Cold Light Oracle. It just moves through your deck so quickly. I wonder if we couldn't do stuff like Doomsayer. That's pretty intriguing. I kind of forgot about that. It's just tempo board clear. Just play it on 2 and stall them out to give us time. I really like Doomsayers now that I think about it. We gave up some card draw, but we added a lot of value, essentially. Board clear, value, and time. So that felt like a really good change. Is there anything this deck is lacking? Do we have enough card draw now? This is 4 cards, 6 cards. We'll call this 1 card because we don't know that it always hits. So that's 7 cards, 8 cards. We have 8 straight up draw cards. Lock and Load generates cards. So that works. Oh, actually Flare has 9 draw cards. I think that's enough. With the board clears we have and the removal that we have, I think that's enough. I still don't love that curve. No 4-drops. A lot of late game stuff. It's a little awkward, but I don't know. This is pretty cool. I think we're getting really close to what the deck looks like. Essentially, we just have to stick around. I wonder if we need healing. Hunter, you don't normally think about that, but some healing may not hurt. Simply because, remember, we are trying to live. Because we don't have any taunts or any heals. Reno Jackson, huh? Reno Jackson. That is intriguing. Reno Malygos Hunter. I'd have to break the rules a little bit. I think my suggestion from Uneros, my Reddit user who suggested this deck, did request specifically plural arcane shots on the hunts and quick shots. But It's intriguing where you play Reno in this deck. I think we'll have to pass on Reno. But we could do something like Alexstrasza, right? Like, that's a heal 15. It just comes pretty late in the game. There's stuff like Cult Apothecary, Dark Scale Healer, Refreshment Vendor's not good because that's healing the opponent as well. Earthring Farseers usually are a pretty good little heal to tech in. I don't think Hunter has anything health related in their set. So I guess we'll pass on the heal and just trust that we can keep up on the board and remove stuff to avoid damage in the first place. Between Explosive Trap, Freezing Trap, all this removal, we might be able to do that. So let's go ahead and lock this in. I think this is our Yogg Malygos Hunter. I don't know if anybody's made this deck before. I don't know if it's any good. It's probably not, if I had to guess. But gosh darn it, we're going to try. We're going to see if this Decksperiment succeeds or if it fails. And yeah, we're taking it out onto the ranked ladder. We aren't scared. This is not quite a third of the way into the season so far, so rank 13 is a little lower than we should be, obviously, but still, I think we'll spot a few legend players here and there. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So we'll get some good competition and definitely some meta decks here, including a mirror match. Might be a mirror match, but I'm willing to bet he doesn't have a similar deck list to us. Alright, so we'll toss back Yogg, and remember, we'll, on the hunt's sort of good against Fiery Bat, but not really, because it probably doesn't trade. So we're going to send that back too and hope to get it later. We want the more reactive removal stuff that's not centered around our Malygos. So on the hunt, we're saving for Malygos probably, right? So we want to get that a little later. Looks like we're going to Huge Toad or King's Elec, yep. So we'll play the Loot Hoarder into this, that's totally fine. Oh, cool. We want a two mana Joust. That's not something you see every day. We'll play the one off the top just to frustrate him a little. So he's already knows our deck is not normal because he saw a Doomsayer and a Loot Hoarder. So he's thinking like, what is going on here? His deck so far looks normal. Fiery Bat, King's Elec is very standard mid-range Hunter stuff. So who knows what he's thinking right now? I don't know what we're thinking right now. Second King's Elec, okay. So, oh no, we gave our tell away. He definitely knows what's in the deck now. Ah, he's trying to save his life already, I think. So already preserving his life total. We could King's Elec here. But I think I'd rather just Loot Hoarder. I'll save the On the Hunt. If it killed a minion, I'd probably use it, but it doesn't. Man, how cool would it be to see a Malygos Explosive Trap for lethal? If you don't know, Explosive Trap is actually affected by spell damage. So it would do 7 damage. That's pretty cool. I could trade Deadly Shot because it's very valuable to remove that because we're going into turn 4 for the Hunter, so he very likely has Houndmaster, and if he buffs that to a 4/7, that's really annoying for us. I would love the Explosive Shot. It's perfect, right? But we're a mana off, so we can't do that yet. So let's kill this and see what we get. Flare doesn't help us right now, anyway. So we'll just Deadly Shot this to keep the board clear. And he's going on to turn 4, so he probably has something like Houndmaster. He could have the Infested Wolf. I don't think it helps me to get a 1/1 Hound out. I just don't think there's any advantage. I don't think it will trade into anything or do anything. So we'll still just continue to save this as a resource. Double Huge Toad. So Explosive Trap looks good at first glance, but we're still worried about the Houndmaster, right? So the Houndmaster would buff the Huge Toad. One would die. We could just Explosive Shot and clear the board again to deny any Houndmaster shenanigans. At that point, he plays High Main, and we can Freezing Trap it, and we're still in a good spot. So I don't think we have to save the Explosive Shot. Looks a little awkward, I guess, hitting a 2-health thing for 5, but it's really just more about keeping the beasts off and maintaining the board control. So, oh, I thought he was going into 6. He's going into 5. We can still freezing trap that. That feels fine. We don't necessarily have an answer for the Savannah Highmane if it happens, but we'll have 2 minions out, so we can still figure it out. So we'll play these first, just in case it somehow changes our line of play. So we got the Yogg. That's 1 Houndmaster he doesn't have. That's good to know. Could come, but we'll play the other King Zealot, and we're very likely to get something good because we've already used our loot hoarders and... Nope, never mind. Forgot about those guys. So like I said, we'll just play the freezing trap here. It's very good to remove a 4-drop, especially if he like Houndmasters it. We're in really good shape if he attacks. If he Houndmasters and holds it as a taunt, that'd be pretty smart, pretty slick. So like I said, we don't have a way to deal with that guy, but that's okay because we have 2 dudes out. We're not up to our Call of the Wild turn yet. That would be amazing. Doomsayer is actually pretty intriguing. I kind of want to save my Flare, but I'd also like to draw cards. I think I'm just going to Doomsayer Hero Power. That might sound crazy with 2 minions on the board. And it also potentially gives him the chance to leave 2 2/2s out. Because if he ignores my Doomsayer, goes face, lets it go off, he'd get a 2/2 and a 2/2, but we'd also deny his turn 7. Maybe we hold this for his turn 8 to deny Call of the Wild. I think I have to use the Flare here for card cycle. I'd obviously like to save it for a secret. Didn't really help. So I don't love this, by the way, but I think it's the best route. I don't love this play at all. So we've got the Explosive Trap if he decides to go face just to get rid of those. It's a little overkill, obviously. I'm hoping he actually tries to kill the Doomsayer like a kill command. Or Houndmaster or whatever. So now the Explosive Trap probably gets a little value here. We can on the hunt, or maybe just Call of the Wild to... Oh, we could on the hunt that, but then we just don't have a lot of great mana usage here. Call of the Wild is just pretty bad. If we had the mana for Call of the Wild on the hunt, it'd be pretty good. But Misha dies to this for free. Huffer kills this thing, but it doesn't really do a lot. We could just kill that thing with the Blood Mage and the Hound. I guess this is the best play. It removes the Beast, which is important for a variety of reasons, and our board actually trades into his board reasonably well. Plus we can follow up with Call of the Wild. He's got Call of the Wild too, though, is the problem, so it's like... I don't know. He could Huffer one and Weapon the other. Oh, we knew he had... No, we didn't know he had that. That was our joust, not his joust. So that's pretty good. Is this better than Call of the Wild? Maybe. It's better against Freezing Trap. Let's see what we get. I hate giving him cards, but I'm just curious. Quick Shot's pretty good too. Well, not that good. So we can kill this. Could also just play Thorison. I'm at 21 health. He has 7, 9. 2 kill commands would be 20. This reduces 1 Malygos card, but not really that advantageous. But I could Yogg-Saron next turn as well to bail myself out of a big board. I think I'm going to do this. I think he has to kill this. He knows I've got shenanigans. He's worried about dying. He thinks I have Malygos, quick shot or something, and that he's dead. Hoping this just creates a pressure point that this has taunt, essentially. It's going to trade. Oh, goodness. We might need Yogg. Oh, Unleash the Hounds is actually really good, too. The Highmane off the... I didn't even notice that. Jeez Louise. I can actually unleash Call of the Wild and Arcane Shot. Right? Is this insane or am I crazy? So I gotta do this right or my board gets too full. Okay, that's fine. I probably should have used the wolf first, I guess, but... Alright, so how do we do this? Can we actually clear? Not quite, but we can do some amazing stuff. And we'll take out the Hellmaster since it trades into the Misha, but the Ramlingther doesn't. That was insane. He had like the best turn ever in history. He got the Savannah Highway off Ram Wrangler, and we still dealt with it. That is nuts. And we have 17 health and a Yogg-Saron in hand, and another Call of the Wild. We just goosed the turn a little bit by playing the Cold Light. Although arguably not, because it's better to have this back than a Wolf. So he's going to clear. That goes to 1. Call of the Wild trades. Call of the Wild Animal Companion's probably quite good. I don't need a Yogg yet. We're still alive, so... Let's see what Animal Companion we get here. Can very much change our line of play. We could also just quick shot trade, clear his board. I actually like that better. It's the less greedy route. So we're just winning the game right now without shenanigans. Like, we're just winning the game. It's just on value, like Call of the Wild. If he gets a Call of the Wild, he's back in the game. Yeah. I just do this twice. I'm very likely to get what I need. Don't have really good follow-up though. I could be dead if it doesn't hit. It's all right. Nah, I think I would have preferred Huffer, but it actually contests this board fine. He can trade one and not the other. We've kind of flipped turns here. Plus, every spell I cast, right, it's making my Yogg a little crazier. So we may be forced to Yogg soon. We haven't seen Malygos at all. And we've used a lot of our Malygos combo stuff. So we may have to trust on the Yogg. That's why it's here. Uniros, the Reddit user, specifically requested it. Oh, gosh, these Call of the Wilds are getting stupid. Thankfully, he doesn't really benefit from the damage buff at all here. Like, it's actually useless. But I gotta use Yogg. We're almost dead at this point. So, oh, Mally's here too. Cool. But this is the play. There's some merit potentially in attacking that, but yeah, I probably should have attacked it. Heroic Strike, okay. Whirlwind. Revenge, that's pretty cool. Deadly Shot doesn't matter. That's not good. Mark of Nature's good. If it gives health in particular, yeah. Lightning Bolt, me or him or somebody, not Yogg. Well, Yogg's fine too. Brawl's fine. King up on Yogg-Saron! Oh my god. And Shadow Step on Yogg. Quick shot him, yeah. Oh, that's a pretty good Yogg. We get a second Yogg now. We'll actually have 4 Yoggs, but we don't have the health. We would never survive 4 Yoggs. I think we're going to live at the very least. He doesn't have a way to do 8 damage probably with 2 cards. He might be Kill Command, but he doesn't have the mana, it looks like. Well, Doomsayer doesn't help, so I guess we try again. It's really good. Cleared the first half of that Death Rattle, that's important. Okay, can take that. Lock and load finally. Snipe's pretty good. Holy Fire's probably good. That's fine, we needed the health, so. That's not good. That might not be good. It's not good. That's fine. Clear the board. On him, on him! Oh, no. That's good. Maybe. That's good. Arcananolic's fine. Another Yogg. I love the Yogg. Oh, sick card. Wow. Oh, wow. Snipe is fantastic. I don't think we can die. Should we... We might have a way to win the game. Oh, that's actually the best one. For sure. Ugh! 6-8. We're still alive, though. That avoided Snipe is why it's so good. I think we have to play a third Yogg, right? Like, Yogg has worked for it so far. Oh, he's worried about traps. I forgot. He's testing traps. Yeah, he knows it's Snipe now, probably. Is this lethal? Malygos plus Arcane Shot is 7/8. No, we don't have the mana for that. It's not lethal. Is this lethal? 3, 5, 7, 8. No. There's a chance Lock and Load gives us lethal, but I don't know, guys. Can you really pass up the third Yogg-Saron? I think we have to, right? We have to try to win the game in the interest of a good video. We have to try to win the game, but I don't care. Third Yogg. Third Yogg. I don't care about winning the game. I want a third Yogg. Oh, cool. We cleared his board, so we have a chance of living here. Cleave. Holy Wrath could be bad. It's fine. Power of the Wild's fine. Shadow Bolt's probably bad. Entomb is fine. That's bad. No, he's out of minions? Okay, so we're technically alive. The best kind of alive. Because we could play a fourth Yogg. Oh, God. Are we alive? No, we're dead. Man! Oh, he top decked lethal and stole our fourth Yogg. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Alright, so for the record, that game was a win. Like, if we played Lock and Load and went for spells to the face, there's like a 97% chance we would have won the game. So we'll count that as a win, but sometimes you gotta sacrifice the win for 3 Yogg-Sarons, right? Come on. Well worth the price of admission, right? Free video, you got 3 Yogg-Sarons. What can you say? You gotta be happy with that. Super value. Trump would be pumped about those Yogg-Sarons. Another mirror match. I'll take it, whatever, it's fun. Alright, so I'm going to keep the quick shot, but not the explosive trap. This is a good hand. He's going to think we're a regular hunter at first, which is nice. Well, the King's Relic will probably reveal that. This could get value against a hunter. Sad that he top decked lethal, because we were going to play the 4th Yogg, even though we probably had guaranteed lethal. Didn't matter. 4th Yogg. 4th Yogg all the way, man. Oh! How many Yoggs have we seen this game? My God. I bet Yogg's all he has, so playing King's Relic is not going to help me. I bet he doesn't have Malygos, though. What do you want to bet? I bet he's light on Mallies. But we've got the only Mally in the game. I take it, though, that he's playing goofy stuff just like us. So he definitely has secrets, so we'll hold the flare for sure. This will tell us more, too. Thorison, okay. So yeah, he's probably just standard Yogg and Load type deck. We're sort of Yogg and Load, but a mutated version. It's a really good draw, because otherwise we didn't have anything to do. It's not a good RNG there, but it's fine. It hits for 2. It's a spell. It's the goal. Hunter's Mark on the hunt. That is a thing that happens. So there's the secret. So we'll just flare because we need the card anyway. Was the snipe. Wow. Cool. I don't really think Doomsayer does anything in this matchup because he's got all spells. I guess it's sort of good against like Animal Companion. But I think I'd rather just play that and do some chip damage. This might be good the turn before Call of the Wild as well. Depending on what he has around. Oh my gosh. The value unleash. I guess we're just gonna hero power each other to death because neither of us has minions. That's so hilarious. Well, I got my Yogg, so that's good. Hopefully we'll get 3 Yoggs again. That doesn't happen every day. This is literally hilarious. So we're going to get the first Call of the Wild, I think, because he used this coin. Maybe I should have Doomsayered. I wasn't paying attention to the coin. Okay. So we can Call the Wild first. We don't have to play around his Call the Wild. Ooh, is this good? It's Mally Quick Shot. Let's wait a minute. Let's just wait a little bit on it. Let's try to get one more damage spell and then we'll go. Next turn might be good anyway, because it sets us up for like the turn 10. We could have done the Mally Quick Shot this turn for 8, but... What is that? Power Shot. Okay. Another Power Shot. That's not bad, really. Cost a lot of mana, but... yeah, this is still not the best. I wish that was a damage spell. But if we get another On the Hunter Arcane Shot for Mally, it'll still work, so whatever. So this will be 8, this will be 1. So On the Hunt or Arcane Shot will be another 1 for 10 mana. So we'd essentially get like 6 from On the Hunt plus 8 from Quick Shot would be 14 damage. So he's pretty close to dead at this point. Wonder what that is. King's Elec is going to get me like a Loot Hoarder or a Doomsayer. What do we think that is? We probably want an Explosive Shot here in King's Elec. That's his Thorison, okay. He's probably very intrigued by that Loot Hoarder. That's not a card you normally see. Oh, Dart Trap! Cool! I like it. That's totally fine. I thought it was going to be Explosive Trap anyway, so that made no difference there. I guess if it hit my face, it would have made a little bit of a difference, but... Ah! Turnabout's fair play, sir. That's scary, actually. I maybe should have Doomsayered. Explosive Trap. Mally Explosive Trap does 7, but he could kill the Malygos with the board, so it wouldn't really help. I think I'll Yogg. This could go bad. I mean, Mally's not lethal, right? It's only 8 damage to his face. We can't do anything else with Mally, really. So we'll just Yogg. Depending on what Yogg does, I might Doomsayer too. We have the mana, so... Awesome. Awesome. Great spells. What? Swipe's good. Swipe's bad, actually. What? Come on, Swipe. That's good. That's got to do something, at least. Wrong one, but... Freezing Trap's okay. Yeah, I'll actually Doomsayer here. No, because it might kill my Yogg. I'm actually going to Quick Shot. I know it gives up my Mally combo, but I gotta live, right? I gotta live. I gotta live, guys. Come on. I mean, I know it's Mally, but I gotta live, right? I gotta live. And Yogg is, like, alive right now, which never happens, by the way. Ever. Like, not ever. It's not the best Freezing Trap target, admittedly, since it has charge. There could have been some merit to... I didn't think about it, but Quick Shot... Oh, Lord. Mind Vision. That's scary. Mind Vision's scary. Burgle's scary. That's scary. That's scary. 7 damage. Oh no, it went to Yogg. Okay. He got Demon Fused too? Oh my god. 8 damage. Another Yogg's coming, boys. Holy Nova's bad. Snake Trap is bad. Does that mean he has the other Snake Trap? I think it does, right? Because it didn't play. I think that means he has the other Snake Trap. Oh, we have 1 life. I didn't even see that, to tell you the truth. So Mally Explosive Trap doesn't help because we're dead to Hero Power. So we like need a heal off of this. We need a heal. Power Shot's not it. Vaporize doesn't help. Shadow Strike doesn't help. Healing Wave! On our face? No, Yogg. No, Yogg, why? Yogg, no, don't kill yourself, Yogg. No. Oh, the healing wave on our face put us in the game. Man, he got... I won the joust and healed him for 13. Yeah, so I'm actually not dead to that. He just cost himself the game almost. Does he have it? Because he can't hero power now. Whoops. I still can't do it, but I'm gonna scare him. Or at least we're gonna see this in action, right? Boo! Well played. So we had 5 Yogg-Sarons in 2 games. 5 Yoggs in 2 games. That doesn't happen every day, folks. That does not happen every day. Alright, we get it, Hearthstone. We lost the game. Chill out, Hearthstone. We know what happened. We got out-yogged. His Yogg gave him, like, an insane amount of damage. And our Yogg cast Demon Fuse, like, 3 times. The 3 Demon Fuse Yogg. 5 Yoggs in 2 games. We'll try another game. I'm not giving up on this Decksperiment yet. I actually think we're 1-1. I'm counting that first game as a win. We sacrificed the win for fun. It's a video game. Sometimes it has to happen. Because now we're playing Chode Stroker. That's all I need to say. Mulligan for some junk. Got more junk, as to be expected with this junk deck. That's actually a good draw, 2-3. He'll probably think we're normal Hunter for a while. Well, King Zelek might belay that plan a little, but we'll see. Intriguing. This looks like a sort of aggro paladin so far. Don't really see a lot of paladin that's not N'Zoth, so... I'm in... Whoa! Here comes Rallying Blade or something. This might be difficult for me to deal with, honestly. I don't have, like, the power shot or anything. So he probably knows that we're Yogg and load at this point. But, I don't know. He doesn't expect Mally, probably. Oh, so many dudes. This is scary. I need Explosive Trap. I need Explosive Trap. That's not Explosive Trap. We gotta play this. That's probably the best result, honestly, but it's very susceptible to any of the blessing buffs that give these things damage. So next turn we can probably Freezing Trap Loot Hoarder, even though Freezing Trap is awful against this board. Rallying Blade is really bad too, because he can set up some easy free trades and get a big board. And we don't have Power Shot. I deliberately chose not Power Shot because I just don't know. A lot of stuff has 3 health that you care about right now, particularly in Shaman. So I don't think Power Shot's that good. It would be nice now maybe, but on average, we haven't seen a lot of Shaman though. Oh, he doesn't have the weapon. Cool. That's really good news because he trades all his Divine Shields and his minions here. We'll probably kill the... Oh my god! We got the nuts. I'm not even going to play a dude, because then he'll just trade more dudes into my dude, and I'll lose my dude for free. Blessing of Kings is going to be pretty good here, perhaps. But anything else is not that good. That's not that good. In fact, it's kind of bad. He just sacked his own 1 health here, and that guy lost his shield already. I don't have a way to kill those, though. Yeah, I think it was. Because it's the same difference. He could have played these afterwards and had a 3-3 and a 2-1. So he just straight up lost the advantage here. It's just a deliberate, outright mistake. Okay, so he could get a free trade this way, but we can free trade the other way. Unfortunately, we didn't have a way to kill this right off the bat, so he's probably going to get more value out of it, at least from his hero power. But we've got Thorson into Yogg and Call the Wild, which means we can do a turn 7 call, which is pretty good. He's going to go face, I bet. Yep, just going to go face. So we'll kill this one. Obviously, it represents the most value. Ooh, On the Hunt, though, is actually pretty enticing. I can trade and see what I get first. Doomsayer on the Hunt hero power. Or a free Thorison. If I play Thorison, it just dies for free. I'm actually a little worried about Divine Favor as well. Is that still a card? I guess it is. So I'm going to do this instead. I chose this one for 2 reasons. It's the bigger one, so I'd like it to be dead faster. Plus, I think he'll test for Freezing Trap with this one, which means he's probably more likely to lose the Divine Shield here. I don't think he can kill this Doomsayer. I think that's Divine Favor, by the way. Don't really have a good reason to think that. I just have a feeling. He only gets 2 cards if it is for 3 mana, which is Arcane Intellect, which is not enough for him to win, probably. Either one of these is actually a pretty good Freezing Trap target because they get instant value again. He might mess this up. Wait a minute. What? Thanks. He just let them all die to my Doomsayer. Whoa, that was a weird play. I don't think I like that play. We'll just Thorison. It's the best minion I can get out this turn. I obviously want the cost reduction on other things, like the Malygos combos, but we can do Call the Wild next turn anyway, so whatever. And it might live, frankly, so I think there's a good chance it lives. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So we'll do this, and might look a little weird, but minions are so good for this class because they get buffs. Like Blessing of Kings, for instance, could ruin my Emperor, and I have the taunt to deny his weapon anyway, so we're in a pretty good spot. I'd like to win the game on a Malygos play if I can. I don't know if it's possible, though. That's pretty good. Oh, that's Malygos. 8 plus 7. Right. 8 plus 7 is not 16. It's 9 mana, but we don't have hero power mana. 8 plus 7 is 15. So let's try... Oh, we can't Animal Companion because then we don't have enough mana left. Brr. It's no fun. I don't want to Yogg because I have a good board and a good chance to win here. Let's try the... let's do the math. 8, and that's 2 plus 5 is 7. It's just not enough. Does not win me the game. But is it just the best play because it's a 4/12 minion? I guess it is, actually. Just the best play. I think this is just objectively the best play. It didn't win the game, but by God, it's a good play. How does he recover from here? With 2 cards against Malygos Emperor Thorison. It's gonna be tough. Free Animal Companion. Free Huffers all day. I'll take it. I don't know what he's got up there. I don't think it's enough to win. Call me crazy. I just don't think you've got it, Chode Stroker. I don't know what you're doing over there. I just don't think you've got the win. The question is, do we Yogg-Saron just to see what happens? Go 8 and then Yogg and then hero power it off? I think we do, right? I think we make this a 6 Yogg-Saron video. He might have just left the game here, it looks like. Looks like he gave the threw the phone on the ground concede play. Pretty strong against Malyogg Hunter. The throw the phone on the ground concede. So we're going to go face and Yogg-Saron and see if we can get it off before the game ships him out. Well, Mally survived at least. Mind Control doesn't help. Execute doesn't help. Mortal Coil, 6 damage Mortal Coil on Mally. I love it. Malyogg is ridiculous. 7 damage, 6 damage Coda Cold. Let's try this too. I'm curious here what we get. Oh, he left. Let's finish him off. Alright, well he let us have some fun at least. At least he didn't concede our Malyogg turn. That's not something you see every single day. Okay, so that's actually going to wrap it up for me and the Malyogg Hunter. Here is the list once more. Probably needs some revisions here and there, but really not too bad for a first take on a Decksperiment. It's a crazy idea for a class that it doesn't really fit. We actually kind of made it work, right? We won 1 out of 3 games, and honestly, we won the first game as well. Just kind of threw it at the end intentionally. So far, 2 out of 3 is not bad. Clearly, consistency is pretty important when it comes to ranking up, so I'm not recommending this deck as a ladder deck. It's probably not good enough for that, but it's certainly fun, and it can do some crazy stuff, as you saw from our 6 Yogg-Sarons here in 3 games. So, thanks so much for watching this Decksperiment, and until next time with a crazy new deck, game on.